Can you give some examples of where people's personal branding hasn't worked as well as they thought it would, or where it's gone wrong?
I think it's when their own perception of themselves doesn't match other people's perception. So they have a view that they are one thing and they found out later that they're not. Or, I can think of one person in particular, a guy who used to work in the organization I worked at, who was renowned. I mean, talk about what's said when you're not in the room. He was renowned for talking the talk, but never walked the walk, not once. And for just talking himself into a job, but then not long in, people would realize he didn't deliver. And so having to move on to the next job and the next job. So his personal brand was really not working for him. I think the other time a personal brand doesn't work for people is when they just don't appreciate that they have one, and they're having a really negative impact around the place and they're completely blinkered to it. They have no idea. And it's understanding just how far your personal brand can travel without you even realizing. So I'll give you a true example. I do work with a grad scheme at a big bank down in London. And every year they take on new grads, and I go down, and as part of their induction week, I run a personal brand workshop, getting them thinking about their brand. Now, these people have been given a great opportunity, and out of the 12 people that I have on my workshops, I always find that the vast majority of them, great grads, right attitude and everything. But I'll be honest with you, I usually find at least one person on the workshop, they saunter in. I can tell you one guy, he sauntered in an hour late, didn't even apologize, sat there. His body language for the whole thing was, I do not want to be here. One of the exercises we did, he was incredibly rude to another member of the team, one of his fellow grads. Just the insolence, it was awful. And this guy didn't seem to understand that when I finish those workshops, the person who hires me at the bank, the person who's in charge of the grad scheme, always comes and sees me afterwards when everybody's left the room and says, so, right, give me a rundown. What did you think of them? Go around the table. Tell me what you thought. And I tell her my impression of them. I tell her what I think. And I will often say, that person, they are going far. They were brilliant. They've got the right attitude. I think they could be a real star. This person here, no. They are troublemaker. They are this, they are that. And that person will listen to me and go, yeah, do you know what? I'm starting to find that myself. That's also backs up something else I heard from this manager over there. And people are talking about you, whether you want to think they are or not. So sitting there believing that your personal brand doesn't matter, or, I don't really care about personal brand, do you know what? You should. I mean, actually, a year later, I went back to the bank to do more, and I said to her, what happened to that guy? The hour late guy, the insolent guy, the rude guy. She said, oh, he did career suicide, she called it. She said, because at the end of the grad induction, the grads are asked to do a bit of a presentation on what they've done over the 6 weeks, what they've learned and where they've worked, but to the sort of senior management team. And this guy stood up and he basically went, this graduate induction has been the biggest waste of time for me. I don't think I've learned a single new thing. Oh, well done. You've just said that in front of the whole management team. Do you think we're going to be offering you a promotion anytime soon? And he was oblivious to it, So it's about being, don't kid yourself. People are saying stuff. Use it to your advantage. Get them saying positive stuff.